Hi, this is Rex and Cole. We're going to talk about Cyberpunk this
Yes,
week. It's been a rough week for CD Projekt Red. I'm
it's
really,
it's been pretty
I'm really
rough.
sad about it because I'm a huge CD Projekt. I'm somewhat of a fanboy, I would say about it.
There's CD Project Red Stan.
Uh, yeah, I'm a fan. I have to say for most of what the work they have been doing for the last decade or more, and it's really sad about what's going on, but I think it's news. We should probably talk about it, and so I'm gonna just say basically, base console users are really upset because the game's somewhat broken on the base consoles.
Well, isn't that like PS4 stuff? Like not the new consoles.
The Yeah, the new consoles are doing much better, but there are some bugs there too.
Hmm.
But the PS4 and the base Xbox One, they're really struggling. Like they didn't have a lot of visually it's not up to par. That's fine, but it's also a lot of crashes are going on. A lot of reported crashes. Players are upset. They're asking for refunds. That's what happened beginning of this December. Around December 13th. Uh, they started asking for refunds. So well, probably more earlier than that, but there's been a more full-throated vocalization of asking for refunds on December 13th.
Now
So,
I have a weird question regarding this though.
uh,
So like, Bethesda games could get away with having like in a big open world and like incredibly buggy sort of game. Like the state of the game was like super buggy. Is this like worse than Bethesda, or are people just being selective in their bug hate?
people are experiencing different things. Some are experiencing worse than Bethesda. Some are not.
Mm,
So some are playing it all the way through. So
mm.
it's different for everybody. And all all I know is I played it on PS4 and then it's pretty buggy on PS4.
I see.
And
Oh yes, you did talk about that.
that's why I recommend everyone to play it on Stadia at this point.
We're not going back there, but
If you want to play, or get enough Steam. If you have a good enough rig, do that.
yeah.
Or
Do that.
GOG.
Spend money.
Yeah, get on the PC because the PC is the most stable version of this game, and
Mm,
it's pretty much it's pretty solid there. So,
mm.
but if you have a base PS4, Xbox One, it's I didn't enjoy playing it on the PS4. So, uh, they are going to come out with new patches. They've promised to do those. So I think they're promising to get it really fixed by February, by like mid February or end of February or something like that. Huge patches. They promise a huge patch every month basically, and
I
there's a
mean,
lot.
they're kind of doing the No Man's Sky kind of route a little bit.
Yeah, there's rumors that a new patch will drop on the 21st. So
Hmm.
hopefully that will happen.
I think it'll honestly. I think after the bugs get fixed and stuff like that, a lot of this is going to blow over.
Yeah, I think so too. But so Cyberpunk promised refunds. They said,
Yes.
okay, we're gonna give refunds to everybody.
Which I mean, honestly, how many companies do that? Like freaking Fallout 76, right? From what
Well,
I understand, like they just straight up said no refunds at all, or they made it incredibly difficult to do so.
unfortunately, unfortunately, this was also a debacle. Uh, because they
Oh
didn't really
no.
talk with PlayStation about it doing online, and they have a different refund policy. So when players were trying to get a refund, they were having a hard time getting one. If you were a PS4 user who bought it online, so a lot of people were ranting about that, and they were very upset about it. They were cussing out PlayStation, but
Right.
they got it rectified. Sony is letting people get refunds. Unfortunately, another thing happened. Sony pulls Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They are just taking so many hits.
yeah, so they're pulling the game entirely until probably next month until it's more stable. There's ways you can still buy a physical copy, and for PS5 users, I mean, it is working pretty good in PS5. So I don't know, but you can't get it on PS4. I mean, the PlayStation Store at this moment. They're uh, they're probably gonna it's gonna take a month or two, and it's gonna come back in a more stable version because people are just really upset, and I understand. I think, to be honest, in hindsight, CD Projekt Red should probably done what's called released each version in a separate date. They should have just released the PC version early,
Yep.
and probably waited on the PS4 or the PS. Oh, you know what they should have done? They should have said the PS. We're gonna release the PS4 version, but it's gonna be early access.
Honestly, if I was them, I probably wouldn't have announced the game 9 years ago.
Yeah, that's hard. The thing is, they never. I think the estimate was really hard to figure out how long this game was take. It was such a big project for them, and
I don't know. I feel like 9 years is a big scroll. Just don't talk about it until it's a year out. The one rule with game development. Or
the thing is, it's gonna leak.
It's gonna leak, but just don't. Like, if it leaks, it leaks. It's not like you announced it, right? It's not like they're like, oh, well, now you have to make it.
The thing is, people are gonna be writing about it anyway because it's such a big studio over there. Witcher 3 was such a big hit. It's going to come out that they're going to work on another game, and there are going to be questions about it every.
Oh, yeah, but like
day.
Nintendo's able to do it.
Nintendo, actually, I don't. The thing about Nintendo is they just don't mention a release date a lot.
Yeah,
that's what they should
don't.
Yeah,
they just don't put a number. Don't put a number down.
Yeah,
they should don't do it until it's a year out.
Yeah, they should not have a release date. So that's another mess up. But what they could have done, I think this would have worked, is they could have released it for PC on December 10th like it was, but they could have released it on PS4 and Xbox One, just called it early access and say we're not done with it. We're sorry, but if you want to play with it, you can start playing with it now. And the people who buy early access will get the full version February. For people people were really upset about them not releasing it sooner, so there were people were sending death threats and stuff like that.
Even without all of the bugs in the game, there's still a lot of things where I feel that they were aiming for something, and then they weren't able to do it in the amount of time that they were given, so then they had to make a crappier version of the thing that they promised. A lot of the character customization, it's not like sliders, it's all just select from a box sort of thing.
I think the characterization is pretty robust. I think you can play with it and you get something that you want. I think the big downside is the storylines. Actually, the beginning storylines got cut. It feels like.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too. Where the main plot. But here's side quests, that's a part of these games. That's a big part of these games.
Well, yeah, side quests is a big part of the game, but the beginning storylines, the corporal one seems to have been cut, so people are upset about that, and people are upset about there should be more dialogue branching, and there's not that. It feels like the actions you take don't have consequences, even though some actions definitely have consequences in this game. But they don't give you a lot of ways to answer each question differently. And people were looking for that. Something like BioWare does.
It's a role-playing game first and foremost.
Yeah, so you could talk in... But in fairness, V is actually vocalized, the main character, which is... Yeah. Unlike some other games, but
where they don't voice the protagonist.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that actually. If the character, if the me guy doesn't speak.
Like, I like when the me guy speaks, especially if they have a good voice. Um, but yeah, they should. I'm thinking they're gonna come with a new DLC. Usually the DLCs are free on CD Projekt Red stuff, so I'm sure it's gonna be a lot better in a couple months or 3 months or whenever the DLC drops.
I'm giving it 6. I'm giving it 6 months,
Well,
and I'll look at the state of it then. And if cars still miraculously change model when you turn away and look back at them, uh, I will probably not try it.
well, this game's gonna be around for a couple years at least
Yeah.
because
Actually,
they're gonna start multiplayer next year, so that's the
mm,
plan. So this game's gonna be around. But
I will say before we kind of close out on this, a lot of people are comparing it to No Man's Sky, and I gotta say that like that game, um, and now that it's been given like just a couple of years to really, I think it was announced in 2016 or released in 2016, and then they just started working on it since then, and it's become basically almost exactly what they promised back when it came out. It was basically an early access game, but it happened, after it released, and it's pretty good now. I actually want to give it a shot. So I think that this could be the same kind of situation where we give it a year, we give it 2 years, and we look back on this, like what they've done to this game, and suddenly they've just enhanced it so much it'll be like entirely different than what it released in, what state it released in.
hmm. Well, management's hearing it from the developers as well, so they are complaining.
Mm-hmm.
There was a confrontation in a meeting or something,
Yeah,
and the board was asked a bunch of tough questions by the developers, and they were upset that the reputation of CD Projekt Red had taken a hit, and they're working on it. At least you know what the good. At least they apologized. I mean, no, the other development companies should never apologize for these type of things. So,
yeah. No, I still say that like all in all, people are like hating on CD Projekt Red. I I don't think that they're bad. I still think that they still have the one like store, the one like games platform where you can buy games and actually own them. Like, there's no DRM. You can download everything and just put it on a disc or a thumb drive or whatever you want to do, and just keep it for yourself. And that wins a lot of brownie points with me. I don't think CD Projekt could do much beyond something else they did recently that's a little bit kind of political, and it hits me personally a lot harder than it hit most people. But there's some stuff, for the most part, they're pretty good. They're pretty chill. I don't. This isn't Cyberpunk related, so if you want to talk about it, we can. But I'll let you be the decider on that.
basically, yeah, I think they still have. I still hold them to high regard compared to other developers. They apologize. They offer refunds.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually doesn't happen.
Yep.
And they did get the refunds going for other PS Online and everything. So
Yep.
that's
And
a good
it
thing.
sounds like that there was just a really big miscommunication between the uh, developers and like the actually, like you're saying, the management. Like they're like, this is what all big companies do. This is how we're going to solve the problem, and then it didn't work, uh, and then it fell apart.
We'll see. I think the story is gonna go on for a while. It will hopefully
Yep.
it'll get rectified. We'll keep on addressing it as new
Yep.
patches come. Maybe things will get better. And I'm enjoying the game
Mm.
on Stadia, and I'm having fun. And I'm uh I've gotten pretty far on it a little bit. But one good news is Death Stranding is getting a free Cyberpunk 2077
I saw that and I
DLC.
was like, why is Death Stranding on the? Oh no.
So they're getting a new motorcycle, and there's some assets coming in, and that's cool. That's something. I'm just happy
That's
there's some good news coming out from Cyberpunk.
that's not even to me. That's not even really good news. That's just it's just news.
Yeah.
It's just news.
Well, it's something. It's better than all the other stuff that's been coming out lately. So I'm just
Fair
I
enough.
want to leave on a happy note a little bit.
Yeah.
As I've said, the game is pretty fun. I'm enjoying it. I do criticize the not having enough branching dialogues. I wish they put that more in, but depending the thing about it is the scale of the game is so huge. So I understand why, as a developer myself who works on software, I understand why they
Otherwise known as a software developer.
yeah. Um, yeah, I understand why they would want to cut some of it back because there is a lot in the game already, and it's probably it's the biggest game they've ever worked on, and they were all probably they were on crunch. I mean, most of these developers were probably working their butt off, and
I have a feeling that the lead developers and the management probably bit off a lot more than they could chew regarding like what they were able to accomplish.
yeah. So I mean, it happens in a lot of sweatshops, developer sweatshops.
Yep.
It's normal, but when you have like a hard deadline, it's really tough to you know make it on time. Even if you're crunching all the time, that means they should have they didn't have enough time really. They should have
Yeah.
never set a date like you said. Or they should have give users a warning saying, "Hey, PS4 console, Xbox One console version is not gonna be ready, or it's gonna be early access, or something to the users before they get all hyped about it and they go, oh, this is gonna work on December 10th or whatever
I feel like
date was."
when it comes to software development in any form, transparency goes a long way.
Yeah.
Like, just tell them the problems, and then they won't be shocked when the problems happen.
Yeah. Except I don't know. Some people are always upset either way.
Oh yeah, I mean, some people are always going to be upset. That's but like you're going to make it's either like you have a very small chance of not making people upset, or but if you do, just not tell people, you'll make everybody upset, or you go with the more sort of sure thing and just let people know what's happening, and then sure, the people that always get upset will always get upset.
Yep.
But rational people will be like, no, they told us,
Yep.
At least
they should have said something.
I feel like that's like something that a lot of people like learn when they're kids, but then unlearn as they grow up.
I think they were just hoping it was stable enough.
That it wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't notice.
Well, they would notice. I think they knew that going ahead, but maybe it was just stable enough that people wouldn't complain as much as they are about it. And they got that wrong. So, anyway, hopefully, we'll return to the story. There's gonna be more on it.
more as it develops.
Yeah, I think it's been a bad week, but the sales numbers, I think they're still gonna make a bunch of money on this game.
I also think that to some degree, this is actually probably better marketing than everything else. I mean, they did a lot of marketing, but like a game releasing bad and then getting good, have it being bad is actually to some degree marketing. Like, people will look at it and be like, is this the state of the game? Well, it's not as bad as I thought it might be. Maybe I'll pick it up, that sort of thing.
I think if they give us a good DLC and they patch up the game, I think people are gonna be happy. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out, and
just to the
or not.
to the Cyberpunk developers that aren't listening to this, do your best. I believe in you. I don't think you're bad people. I think you're pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel bad for the developers. Hang in there, and
do your best.
We feel the struggle.
Yes, I guess that's true. Yes, we felt the struggle. We know.
Oh, yeah, it's not.
You got two smart programming people here. We get it.
Yeah. Okay. That's it for Cyberpunk this week. We'll have future stories later on about it. So thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.